How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Sew Class. We got a hoodie tutorial part, whatever, how to make the hood. So here's how to make the hood. You're gonna need some rotary cutters. Oh yeah, look at my modeling skills there. Some scissors. You're gonna need seam ripper, a hammer, your fabric, some shoestring for your hood too. That hammer, eyelets, an iron, and some pins. So first what I'm doing here is I'm just putting the stencil on the fabric with the fabric good side to good side, and I'm just tracing an outline right here. I'm just trying to measure my seam allowances, so I'm gonna be folding it right there. So I'm just drawing a line here. That's where I'm going to fold on later. So another line's coming up. That's where I'm going to cut. So you see two lines. I'm going to cut on the furthest one out and then fold that cut later on. Just finishing it off here. Take the pins out, peel that thing off, and then you want to re-pin the fabric together so that when you go to cut it, it doesn't move on you. Okay, grab your rotary cutters or whatever, cut that thing out. Alright, you're good to go. Now you're gonna sew the back of it. Okay, so not the neck part, not the face part, but the back of it. So the back of it should be a rounded part, like the top of your head, and then it rounds to the back of your skull, and then down to the back where your spine is. So sew that up, serge that up. So if you want, take it to your serger, like I'm doing here. Done. So now I've got one seam. So I've got here are my eyelets. You can see on my hoodie in the background, they're for your hood. And they're for the cord, the drawstring that comes through there. So you want to just measure up 2-3 inches or however far you want up. I put 2 pins in like this, so facing the opposite way. So when I pull the fabric apart, there you go, the pins stay in. So I got both pins. Now I'm just using my seam ripper to slowly make a small hole, like a really small hole. First time I did this, the hole that I made was too big, and basically the eyelet kind of just fell through it. So you want to make a really small hole and then stretch it around your eyelet. And now I'm just showing you the tool for the eyelet. It looks like a T almost for golfing. So that's how it'll go in, just like that. You want to grab your hammer and that tool, and then you just kind of hammer it down. And it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll see what I mean once you get it, once you get the eyelets from the store. So there you go. They're in there. Now I'm just folding it on that line that I drew before. So this is the part where it's gonna be like my face, like it's gonna go around your face. Just ironing it down so I get a nice even fold when I fold it and pin it together. And I'm just giving myself like 2 inches there, so I have enough room to actually put the drawstring through and then sew it without really having to worry about sewing down the drawstring. So putting the drawstring in right there, just make sure it's kind of close to the fold line. And then I just pin the rest up, just so it's good. Pin the rest up. I should be taking that to my sewing machine. Here I am. I got a pin in my mouth like a boss. And I'm using like a really slow stitch. It's kind of it's like a zigzag stitch, but like double. I don't know, it's weird. Basically, it's like I'm kind of doing it along right on the very edge, just so that it kind of locks that seam into place. Or I suppose you could fold it and kind of like hem it if you wanted to. But I'm just like sewing it down onto there. I find that works. if you just use a zigzag stitch. Alright, sewing it down, all fast motion, super speed. I think I mess up right at the end, I almost break my needle or something. No, maybe not, I don't know. This is what it should look like, okay? It looks like a hood. Alright, this is your face part, you just sewed that. This is the sweater that I made that it's gonna go on. So you want to turn the sweater inside out. Find the midpoint of the sweater on the back. So take the two sides, fold it in half, find the neck midpoint on the neck. So just make sure your shoulders match up. Everything's matching up. And then I just put a pin right through there. So I found the midpoint on my hoodie. Okay. I'm gonna take the hood right side in. I gotta line up the back to it like this. When I first started doing this, I was confused on how to do it. I'm gonna show you guys right now. So this here is inside out. Right here is the front. And the side the pin is attached to, it's actually attached to the back. You want to kind of bunch your hood, like put your hood like that, just so it's long. Here's the two loopies, okay? So this is the front of the hood, that's the back of the hood. Basically, you just want to make sure the back of the hood and the back of your garment match up. So the back of the hood, there should be a seam there, right? That's the middle of it, because that's the back. So just stuff the hood inside the inside your sweater, so that like the good side of the fabric and then the good side of your sweater fabric are facing the same way. Okay, so right now, if I stuff this in to the sweater, since the sweater's inside out, the good side would face the good side. Just trying to find the midpoint. So I just found the midpoint of both. Okay, so before you pin it, it should look like that. So you can see it's inside out on the hood, and it's inside out on the hoodie, meaning that the right sides are touching together. So that's right. Make sure your seams are aligned. Okay, and especially the middle. And then I like to just hold it real good, and then take that pin that I used to actually mark the middle of the sweater, and I use that as my first pin to pin the hoodie to the hood. And sometimes the last bit of it, since the hood, you might have made it a bit over halfway. I think I did here, like the hood, you can see this is the back. It starts right at the seam here, but then halfway would almost be right here, but it's going a little bit past halfway here. So you're gonna get a little bit of overlap on your thing, on your hood here, but it's just gonna overlap a little bit. But I like that look, so that's not a bad thing at all. So you just have to be patient when you're pinning it and work your way around. And I like to make sure that the shoulders are good. Like when I pin it, I pin the shoulders nicely. I try to get the whole thing good, but especially the shoulders. Alright, so when you're done pinning your hood into your hoodie, it should look like that. And you just take that straight to the sewing machine. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm just sewing the last bit of the hood onto the garment, and now you can see what it looks like. So thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and be sure to check out the rest of the videos on how to make the rest of the hoodie. And don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share it around with your friends. If you like that music you're listening to, check out Dagadilla on SoundCloud. Check out my other homie DJ Sig as well. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Peace.